matters to you. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 90 with a moderate breeze out of the southwest around 14 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with lows around 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 87. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Anthony's Dream Collection isn't just an art gallery. It's a creative hub dedicated to transform your spaces and elevating your brand. Anthony's Dream Collection offers a comprehensive suite of artistic services designed to leave a lasting impression. Paintings on canvases, wall murals, and next-level graphic design services. Level up your home, office, and business with our one-stop shop. Visit Anthony'sDreamCollection.com for more information. That's Anthony'sDreamCollection.com.
Looking for a new way to explore Bay County? Or maybe your trusty bike needs a tune-up? Head to Steve's Bike Shop. They've got a huge selection of new and used bicycles, plus the latest electric bikes to get you where you need to go fast. And if your bike is acting up, their expert technicians repair all makes and models, even electric bikes. Serving Bay County for 46 years. Steve's Bike Shop, 1924 West 23rd Street, right across from Sam's. Steve's Bike Shop. Your ride starts here.
I heard the call to serve, so I answered. I earned a title and discovered my purpose. I found belonging, an unbreakable bond with my fellow Marines. We fought to overcome adversity together in defense of our nation and its people. I've lived a full life, rich with meaning. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will always look after those around me. I will always uplift and support my country and my community. Because that is the promise I made. That is what it means to be a Marine. Semper Fidelis. Always faithful. Always Marine.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us. The Sports Blitz. Live from the Golf Plus studios on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And a good morning, Northwest Florida. The Sports Blitz is on the airwaves, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. And you are tuned in to 104.3
ESPN Northwest Florida. James Fife here in the captain chair for this Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. The weekend quickly approaching. Bone Crusher with me today. Hitting the ones,
come on.
Hitting the twos, making us go out to that thing that we call radio, going all across this wide world that we have. And you can also keep up with us on the streaming services out there. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on all of those places as ESPN Northwest Florida. Download our app. We are on the Google Play Store. We are on the Apple App Store. Again, ESPN Northwest Florida. Download it. Take us with you everywhere you go. And you can keep up with everything going on here at the studio at the website, ESPNPC.com. Beach flags are yellow today, ladies and gentlemen, for this Friday. And that is especially excellent, great news for me, because right after I get off the airwaves today, I am going to the beach. Yes!
Tasty waves, clear waters, babes in bikinis.
Exactly, man. Heading down to the state park. Got some snorkel equipment with me. Got some family in town. They're not scuba divers, so I can't take them scuba diving. But they are swimmers, and they enjoy snorkeling, so I can take them down to the state park and go out to the jetty rocks and just see what we can get into. Maybe have a couple of little fishy friends that we can make,
So what are you seeing under there, Jacques Cousteau?
So on the inside of the rocks, lots of good stuff. You'll see, I've seen a gar in there, a nice spotted gar. Every once in a while, you'll see some little sharks in there, not too often because it's just too crowded with people. A couple little octopus. You see a lot of wrasse in there. Every once in a while, you'll see some mullets coming on through. Because they redid the rocks a few years ago, if you guys remember, there's not as many corals as there used to be, but they are starting to come back because, you disturb the coral, it dies, but you get another one that comes back. And I understand why they had to fix the rocks. They built them bigger, they built it a little wider, more of a safety, thing for the swimmers that are on the inside in what they call the quote-unquote kiddie pool. And if you get onto the other side of the rocks, all kinds of great and beautiful stuff. Before they redid the rocks, I had a little octopus friend that lived on the other side. I've only gotten to dive a few times since the rocks have been done, but one of my buddies at a dive shop goes literally diving every day. And apparently my little octopus friend is still there, just down a couple more houses. So apparently his old house got demolished by the government and had to go move down the street. So all kinds of cool stuff.
Say the rocks. You talking about like the jetty? Or
the jetties.
Andrews?
Yeah, the jetties at St. Andrews.
All right.
Real cool spot to go dive. One of the few places in the panhandle of Florida you can do what they call a walk-off dive, which is where you can just put all your gear on right there on the sand, walk in, and kick on out and go diving. The only other places I can think you can do that in the panhandle is over in Destin. The jetty's over there. You can do it over there. It's a bit of a longer walk. It's probably about a half-mile walk with your gear from the parking lot to the jetties to get in. And off of Cape San Blas over there in beautiful Port St. Joe, if you go to the very northern end of the Cape up there, at the northwest corner, there's an old wooden shipwreck there that's about a quarter mile off of the beach that you can get there. It's easiest if you park at one of the state parks, county parks that's on the Cape. Get in your kayak and then kayak up to the spot, get your gear on the shore, and then kick on out. There's not really any good parking there, but it's still a shore dive because you're leaving from the shore. So cool little spots, because if you think about it, guys, anybody that's been diving out here, anybody that's been in the water out here, when you get into the water here, it's kind of shallow for a long ways and very, very sandy. So it's kind of like a giant desert out there. You don't see a whole lot of animals in the desert. Same thing, around here. You don't see a whole lot of animals just swimming around. Now, you'll see some sharks, you'll see some dolphins moving around. You'll get to see some of the rays jumping, which is always fun. But you've got to get around the county pier or the city pier if you want to see more of your fish-type wildlife, because they got to have something to hang around, something where everybody else is. So that's why the jetties is a great spot to go diving, just because the wildlife kind of gathers there for, one, it's safety, two, they can get little houses, and three, the predators are there because the little fish are there for them to eat. So it's just kind of a circle of life thing there.
Well, that reminds me, I'm at the beach last weekend, and there's this lady fishing. I'm like, you know what, I think I'm going to swim a little further down, because she's fishing, so that attracts.
Yeah, attracting whatever she's going after. Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to run into a shark out there.
I'm going to say this time of year, probably looking for the redfish right now. So big old fat kind of carpy looking redfish. They're kind of reddy, goldy looking, kind of neat little fish out there. I'm going to say if you were near the shore and watching somebody, like shore fishing, big old long poles that you stick in the ground, right now this time of year, that's what they're looking for. You can shark fish from the shore. It's fairly frowned upon because
the shark doesn't know what she's fishing for.
Exactly. But it's one of those, you're using a direct bait to go after, the redfish. And you're going to use a little bit of a different bait for the sharks.
Okay.
A little bit more juicier kind of bait for the sharks, a little bit bigger. But I mean, yes, it absolutely can bring a shark in. Probably not, though. It's actually after the fish gets caught that I would think you'd probably get more of a shark activity. But it's not really a time of year right now that we're seeing a whole lot of sharks coming and going, because the season where the bulls and the makos run has already passed. Yeah. And the white sharks don't really like the hot water. They prefer cool water. So you'll see the white sharks off the shore here usually in the winter.
Okay, so it's safer now. And I just ruined someone's vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, but we only lose 1 or 2 a year.
It's fine. They're just like little puppy bites. It doesn't really hurt all that bad, And I've been in the water with all of these guys, and I've been fairly close to a lot of them, too. So it's not, I'm here to tell you all the tales and got at least 9 of my fingers left.
Well, my tip is if you're out there swimming is to swim near, the slower, older, weaker humans, and have them between you and the shoreline, is that the sharks will have to go through them to get to you.
Yeah, same concept with zombies and bears. You want to have a fat friend with you so that way you can knock them over and you can keep running.
Right, if you live in Florida and you live near a pond and you like to go for walks, take your little dog with you and keep the dog on the shoreline. So the alligator will get it first, and you'll
so that way you're safe.
Away.
He's protecting you. You're safe, right? Yeah.
Those are 4 or 5 steps you're going to need to get away.
Yeah, because that's one of those and gone, boom. Yeah. That's kind of a nice thing, though, is you don't really see the alligators in the saltwater. You'll catch them every once in a while in the saltwater, but they're not big saltwater livers swimmers. I've actually seen one alligator over at the jetties, and he was hanging out. He wasn't he was in the water. He was on the edge, and the water was flowing up on him, but he wasn't actually out swimming, making fierce alligator motions or anything like that. The coolest thing, though, I have seen at the jetties this was probably 2-3 years ago. And about a week or two, a manatee and its baby were hanging out in the jetties.
Oh, nice.
So that was actually a really cool one because it was full-sized and then little one with it. So adorable, so fun, hanging out in the jetties most of the time. So that's always so much fun. And we got plenty of dive spots out here that take boats because, you got to get a little bit further out here to get deeper water to have nice, bigger shipwrecks. Because if it's a bigger shipwreck in shallow water, it doesn't work real great for the boating community because you don't really want to, hit an underwater surprise. So a lot of those do get moved out. So you got to get about 5 miles out around here to where you get to the point where the water's about 50-ish, 60-ish feet deep. So that way you can have, still kind of a boat down there without, losing too much drift to other boats to hit it. So, and we just, if you remember, guys, not too long ago, about halfway between here and Destin, they sank the old American. So it was like an old cruise liner type thing. So that'll be a nice big dive site. Now, it's a big dive site. It's in about 120-ish feet of water. So you're talking about getting about 15 miles offshore. But still, I can't wait to go see it. Right now, it's not going to be all that exciting because it's only been down for about a month, so things haven't started to grow on it. But I have seen some pictures coming in of, Goliath groupers and things like that starting to move in and make a house. So always fun and nice to see that the diving community is getting some more stuff around here because it's a big pool. There's people that come from all across the country to come diving around here.
That sounds awesome, dude. I'm curious to get down there.
Oh, it's fun, man. If you got any more information, I can let you know who to contact, learn more about scuba diving.
You need a big wad of cash to make scuba diving happen? Are you wearing one of those tanks and you're certified?
Yeah,
and
I got my certification.
Okay, so ballpark it for me.
So to get up to where I was, so just to get in and get like your basic license, so you are a what they call open water scuba diver, which allows you to dive at 60 feet. I mean, there's no like scuba police down there to like look at your card to make sure like at 70 feet, like, no, you're only supposed to be at 60. But to get to that one, I think when I was working at the dive shop a couple years ago, it was around $350. And it's a lifetime, it's a lifetime card. So you don't have to renew it or anything.
Cents?
Yeah, $350.
Oh, okay.
It's not a too hard of a process, but it takes you about 3 days. You've got about a day and a half of sitting in a classroom, listening to an instructor talk and show you all the safety things, and you watch safety videos and things like that. And then you've got about a half a day where you'll go out to, if you do it here, you'll go out to the jetties, and you go out with your instructor, and they take you around in the kiddie pool first, so you're only at like 6-8 feet deep. You're not real deep, so that way if you do have a freak out or something's not going right, the surface is just right there. It's okay, guys.
Freak out.
And then when everybody's doing okay, you'll kick around the wall and you'll sink down to about 20-30 feet and look at some rocks and come on back in. And then the third day, you do your checkout dive. So that's when they put you on a boat and they take you out 5 miles, and you get on one of the reefs, you get on one of the boats, you get on something out there that's sunk. And for the first one, you go down with your instructor, and they're watching you, and you're doing everything, and you have to go through some basic drills like clearing your mask and re-putting your reg in if you lose it, and how to put your fins back on if they fall off, and just all your basic things you need to know how to kind of do being underwater. Yeah, how to find a shark, how to signal for shark and how to signal for turtle and how to talk to each other.
I would imagine like having like a knife strapped to the side of your leg, like in those James Bond movies.
Yeah.
And they had the guy swimming or the lady swimming with a knife. I mean, should I go down there with a weapon in case I got to fight something like a shark?
Well, the shark's going to get you without you knowing it, so the weapon's going to be useless at that point. But I do carry a knife with me every time I dive because you never know when you're going to run into an old fishing line or an old fishing net.
Oh, okay.
And if that thing is like anchored to something and it wraps around you, now you're anchored to that thing that is anchored.
I see.
And once you run out of air, you run out of air. So I basically carry one as a safety device for if I get stuck in something, I can cut my way out. Or if I'm diving with somebody and they get stuck, I can cut their way out. I actually even, for safety purposes, I use a blunted knife at the end. So my knife does not come to a point. It actually comes to a blunt. But that also is nice, too. Like if I'm down and I find like some oysters or some clams or something like that I don't want to get to, I can use the blunt end and knock them off of whatever I'm going after.
You're down there eating oysters down there.
Oh, yeah, man.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. You got to go find the good stuff.
Now, I've seen a lot of videos of people, like divers, rescuing fish that's gotten caught in line. Have you ever freed a dolphin or saved another animal's life?
No, I have never. I've never freed a dolphin before. And actually, one of my weirder tales of diving didn't involve a dolphin when I was cleaning one of the piers after a storm. And it was weird. I don't want to discourage people from diving, but I worked for the county, and I was one of the few certified scuba divers that had enough levels of certification that I could do things like clean the county pier. And so you get your gear on, you go down. Real bad visibility day. Hurricane, tropical storm, something like that came through near the area. Didn't hit us, but was near the area, so everything was churning. And you can't see anything. I could see maybe 3-6 inches in front of me the whole time. So basically, you're just feeling around for, it's the fishing pier, so you're feeling around mostly for like leftover fishing gear and beer cans that have fallen over. And you're throwing them in a bag, so that way you're cleaning the pier, making it more beautiful. I get to the middle of the pier, so we all know the pier out here, the county pier. The middle T there has a little bit of a dip to it. And when I got into the dip, lots of trash collects there, of course, because it's dip. But it was clear enough that I could see a couple of feet in front of me. So I'm kicking around, picking everything up, and then I come across like this backbone. And it's a good-sized backbone, and it looks like it's been chewed on. Huh. And I'm like, oh, there's something down here. And I keep working my way forward, and I find more bone, and then I find the blowhole. And I'm like, oh, I have found a half-eaten dolphin.
OMG.
And then I start to think, something has just ate this dolphin. I can't see it, and I am probably here with it.
Oh, it's probably full.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping so. So it was at that point that, I kind of I tied my bag off to send it to the upper level and let those guys carry it up. And I just kicked my way out there for a minute and said, nah, I'm done, boys. We're clean now.
I quit. We're done.
We're clean now.
I'm out.
I'm good. I'm good, dudes. We're clean. We're clean. We're clean. And it's always fun. You always see something different every single time you're out there diving. That's one of the kind of beauties of it.
Scary.
That's one of the things I actually enjoy. Is when I'm
becoming the
when
prey.
I'm on the way down, where you're on a line. Usually, if you're going to the boats out here, you have the dive master on the boat. He'll jump in and he'll take a line and tie off somewhere near the wreck, so that way you can just follow it down to the wreck. Mm-hmm. And I always love that first feeling when I'm heading on the way down. I'm letting all the air out so I can sink, and you finally get to that point where you can't really see the surface and you can't really see the bottom. And that's just so exciting to me of what is in the abyss. What is above me? What is below me? I don't know. And then you just keep on sinking and you just kind of slowly start seeing the boat kind of appear. And it's a wreck. So, I mean, it looks a little spooky because you're looking at a wrecked old boat. And it just kind of starts appearing and starts appearing and starts appearing. And then you can just kind of see the whole thing, which is always fun to me. I don't know why that is a fun part for me. I guess it's that, danger, scary, fun type thing, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Even if it's a dive site that I've been on before, I'm going on the way down. It's just like, I just don't know what's there. There might be a megalodon down there. There might just be some starfish. I don't know. I'm more likely to see the starfish than the megalodon, but it's always fun. And you can hear all the chatter of the water. Like you hear the shrimp, they crackle and pop, pop, pop. Crackle, crackle. And then in the distance, you usually hear the dolphins. You usually don't see the dolphins because they usually just stay off in the distance and watch you. But you'll hear them echolocating each other, and you'll just hear them. Always fun. And I also learned one day that groupers bark. The big grouper fish, they bark. And it's very loud, guys. It's very weird. I was diving off of Port St. Joe, off of Cape San Blas, where there was some old Navy things you practice on. And there was this little Goliath grouper in there, and he was in his house, and I was looking at his house, and he did not like me there. And you would hear it. He would go, boom, 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 and you can actually just like feel the shock waves in your chest. It was one of the coolest experiences I had diving. So it's a different world down there. I always encourage everybody, if you like swimming, you like the pretty fishes, give it a try. You might like it.
You don't want to be on the top of the food chain? Go ahead.
Why do you want to be on the top of the food chain when you can be part of it, right? That's the whole fun of the world. You get to choose what you do. Well, you get to choose what you do some of the time. Some of the time, you just have to do things because, somebody comes up and says, hey, man, you got to do this. But
that's worth $350.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I have fun with it. I have all of my own gear, and if you do it long enough, you'll eventually collect gear. But from working at dive shops, it helped me collect more gear because, usually working at a retail place, they give you a discount on the gear. So one of the reasons I worked there for a while was, one, I was getting more certs, and two, I was just buying up gear, and it was a really relaxed kind of job, just chill, sell dive gear. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's all we're doing here, selling fun. We're here to sell fun. And it was one of the few jobs where my manager came up to me, and I appreciated this. He said, just remember, with this job, the customer is not always right. I'm like, hey. All right, I like that, because so many people would want to come in and like buy things like, hey, I just want to buy a dive tank. And it's like, well, without you having a license, without you having a dive card, I cannot sell you that tank because it is a DOT, thing. Now, I can have you fill out this big old long form that says, okay, I'm going to release you from liability, dive shop, that if I do take this tank and I do go out and dive and I'm not certified and I go out and I kill myself, my family can't sue you. Now, if you're willing to go through this long, filled out form process, I can now sell it to you. But just to sell it to you, no, you can't just like walk in off the street and buy a scuba tank. You actually will have to produce a card that says, look, I know what I'm doing.
Good.
So
Good.
kind of a safety measure there, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. And hopefully,
right.
hopefully I get to get around the corner a little bit and see some cool stuff.
I had
today.
plans. Now I got to go. Now I got to jump through hoops.
Got to jump through hoops, man. Got to jump through hoops. Or, well, I mean, there's always ways around this. Just find somebody on like a Facebook marketplace or something like that says selling dive tanks. There you go. There you go. There they are right there. Now, most dive shops will require you to produce a certificate that says I am a scuba diver to get it filled again, but you can at least go diving once with it. That's how you can get around some things sometimes. All right, guys, coming up next, we'll get into some scores and some news of the day. You are tuned into the Sports Blitz, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Now we credit Bud Selig with getting steroids out of baseball when he's the one that left steroids in baseball to begin with. He did, but Major League Baseball, as we know it, at that time was going down in the drains. It would come off 100%. A bad year, all of that. So I believe it saved baseball. Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It saved baseball.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 90 with a moderate breeze out of the southwest around 14 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with lows around 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 87. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Looking for a new way to explore Bay County? Or maybe your trusty bike needs a tune-up? Head to Steve's Bike Shop. They've got a huge selection of new and used bicycles, plus the latest electric bikes to get you where you need to go fast. And if your bike is acting up, their expert technicians repair all makes and models, even electric bikes. Serving Bay County for 46 years. Steve's Bike Shop, 1924 West 23rd Street, right across from Sam's. Steve's Bike Shop. Your ride starts here.
It's the Sports Blitz. Live from the Golf Plus studios. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz is on the air, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the location of the radio dial. You can call the show and you can text the show 850-215-6290. And we got a text in on the text line from Mailman Mike saying he is happy to have the show on the air today and he is enjoying the listening. Mailman Mike, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us here on this Thursday. We are also on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube streaming right there. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download the app. Take us with you everywhere you go. Visit the website, ESPNPC.com, and ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. The next Braves game to take our airwaves will be tomorrow night. That is a Saturday night, 5 o'clock for the pregame festivities, 6:15 for first pitch against the Cincinnati Reds. This game not taking place in Cincinnati, but this game will be taking place in Bristol, Tennessee, and be taking place inside of the Bristol Motor Speedway. You guys, you got to go look at it. They have taken the infield of the Bristol Motor Speedway, and they have made it a baseball field. So that way, if you hit a home run and you hit it hard enough, you actually hit it out onto the track. That is quite an interesting setup that they do have there. You know, they got a couple of seats up close, but then they got all those Bristol seats because anybody that's been to Bristol, there is a lot of seats there. It probably sits 100,000, 120,000 people.
Yeah,
I mean, massive, massive place. And so they're going to have lots of people there. Should be interesting. I wonder what some of the views will be like for some of the people. I just hope, like during the broadcast, that they'll take some cameras around to different parts of the ballpark to let us see, you know, exactly how each kind of person out there has a view of the game. I'm just throwing stuff in here left and right.
You break, you buy.
Don't worry. It just says it's ours, so we're fine. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Let's get to some scores from last night. Only one WNBA game last night. The Valkyries taking on the Mystics. The Valkyries get the victory over the Mystics 68-67. A light day in baseball, I'm going to say, mostly because of the NFL kickoff. Well, not kickoff. The NFL Hall of Fame game. So the preseason kickoff was last night. So I'm going to assume that's why baseball kind of slid into a little bit of a lower schedule yesterday. But the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the New York Yankees. The Yankees defeat the Rays with a hour-and-a-half rain delay involved, 7-4. The Atlanta Braves and the Reds, well, we'll get to that in half a second. The Rangers taking on the Mariners. The Mariners defeat the Rangers 6-0. That put the Mariners now in front of the Rangers. The Mariners are at 58-52. The Rangers at 57-53. And we'll do the NFL score real quick, and then we'll go back to the Braves because I want to rant a little bit about that. Hall of Fame game last night. San Diego Chargers taking on the Detroit Lions. The San Diego Chargers 34, the Lions 7. Trey Lance, the guy that everybody was kind of writing off. I was kind of writing off. The NFL was kind of writing off. Did not look awful last night. I know it's a preseason game, and I know that there was no starters on the defensive side of the football for the Lions. A couple of rookies, but no, like veteran starters, like guys who have been there and done that, you know, were there. But, I mean, Trey Lance last night, 13 of 20, 120 yards, 2 touchdown passes, only sacked 1 time. Not bad for the kid. DJ Ungale actually even made it into the game. Yes, that DJ Ungale from Florida State made it into the game for the Chargers. 2 for 3 on the evening, 25 yards. So, I mean, basically kind of some, you know, fourth quarter mop-up duty. And kind of what I learned from the Chargers with what happened last night is Trey Lance is definitely the number 2 guy, and DJ is the number 3, maybe the cut guy. So that's what I was really looking for last night, was how much time does DJ really get, especially with the 4th preseason game, because these guys will get to play 4 preseason games because of the Hall of Fame game instead of just the number 3. Although DJ Ungale did try to have a running play. This was not a sack because he did try to get across the line of scrimmage as a runner, but he was met with some pretty hard hits. 3 carries, -5 yards. His best rush was for a -1, and these were set, you know, quarterback draw plays, so technically not a sack because it was not back into the pocket for a pass. All right, Atlanta Braves. I said we were going to talk about it. Braves. What? Last night's game. An exciting game. I will give them that. An absolutely exciting game. 3-3 going into the 8th inning. That's not bad. That's not bad, especially when the Reds came out with the lead at 3-0 in the 3rd inning. And then the Braves get the comeback, get a run in the 4th, get 2 runs in the 6th. And I am going to read you the play-by-play from the 8th inning last night, just because it is that impressive. Ashcroft comes out to pitch for the Reds. First batter, Ozzie Albies singles to left. Next, Murphy reached on infield single to third, Albies to second. Mole comes to pitch in for the Cincinnati Reds. Harris reached on a bunt single to first, Murphy to second, Albies to third. White singled to left, Albies scored, Harris to second, Murphy to third. Williams doubles to left, Murphy scored, and Harris scored, White to third. Profar strikes out swinging. Olson grounded into a fielder's choice to the pitcher, White scores, Williams to third. Richardson comes in to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds. Riley singled to right, Williams scored, Olson to second. Ozuna walked, Riley to second, Olson to third. Albies singled to right, Olson scored, and Riley scored, Ozuna to third. Murphy doubles to left, Ozuna scored, Albies to third. Sutter comes in to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds. Harris struck out swinging. White flies out to left field. So we came in to the top of the eighth at a score of 3-3. If we go through and we count up all of those runs, that's 8 runs in the 8th inning. That's an impressive number, dudes. All right, we got the lead 11-3, and we're in the 8th inning. We only got to get 6 outs for a win.
Got this.
We got it, man. We are up by 8 runs. We already went through 4 of their pitchers just to get out of 1 inning. We are in a great position. Let's keep on reading to the bottom of the 8th. Dunning comes in to pitch for the Braves. Stevenson singled to left. Benson singled to center. Stevenson to second. Hayes homered to left field. Stevenson scored. Benson scores. McLean singled to right. Marte singled to left. McLean to second. Lee comes in to pitch for Atlanta. De La Cruz singles to center. McLean scores. Marte to third. Hayes singles to left. Marte scores. Hayes to second. De La Cruz to third. Steer homers to left center. De La Cruz scores. Hayes scores. Espinala comes in to hit for Fraley. Espinala fields out to center. Stevenson walks. Benson ground out to pitcher. Stevenson to second. Johnson comes in to pitch for Atlanta. Hayes lines out to right field. So let's go through and look at that. The Braves. The Braves gave up 8 runs in the 8th. Guys, really? Come on. You're breaking my heart, boys. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. 16 runs scored in 1 inning. Since 1900, there have been 3 Major League Baseball games played now, in which both teams in an inning scored 8 runs. There have been 3 games since the expansion. The expansion is 1961. That's when we got the Mets and everybody to come on in. Since then, there have been 3 Major League Baseball games in which 16 runs were scored in 1 inning. So a historic game, without doubt. But the game remains tied until the 10th inning, and luckily, Ozuna hits a sacrifice into right field to allow Olson to score in the top of the 10th. The Reds did not come up with anything at all in the 10th inning, so the Braves do get that big victory. It took a while to get there. And really giving up that many runs in the 8th? Oh, man, it's like both teams just went out there and said, no, you have it. No, you have it. No, I insist. I'm your friend. Please have this victory. No, no, no. This is your house. You take it. Oh, if we must, we will be a polite guest and take the victory in the 10th.
It was like that episode of South Park where the kids wanted to lose. They didn't want to keep advancing into the playoffs. They're like, we're done.
Exactly. It's like, no. Wait, while we tried to just like not do anything, they actually practiced at getting bad, and they got bad. It was.
Braves. You almost lost. You did your best. You
did the best, and I mean, you get the win.
You can always lose tonight.
And it looks good, and you're at 46-62 now. So, I mean, are you at a position where you can make a run? You're really falling off hard on any kind of position to make a run. You're 20-36 on the road. I think that's truly the most damning point of the season right now, is just how bad They have been on the road. And the pitching just goes hot to cold. Yes, injuries, I get it. But I've been telling you guys now for a while, you can't have 5 starters, you got to have 8. And it's going to be more and more prevalent the longer we go. I'm going to say in the next 5 years, we're not going to see 5-man rotations anymore. You're going to see a 6-man rotation. We're going to start seeing that here pretty soon. I think we're going to drop off from the bullpen games because I think the bullpen arms are getting too used. I think they're just going to take one of the guys from the bullpen, not move him to a starter, but bring another starter up and drop off one of the bullpen pitchers. It's got to go that way. They're losing way too many arms. If you look at the numbers of Major League Baseball players that are pitchers that are getting injuries while pitching, and you compare that to what they're doing in either the KBO or the Nippon League, which is either Korea and Japan. If you look at those, our injury rates to pitchers is much, much higher. My theory is the Korean Baseball League and the Japanese Baseball League, there are only 6 games a week. There are no games on Mondays. Monday is travel day. No games. They also have 6-man rotations. So you know literally what day you're going to pitch. I'm the Monday pitcher. Not Monday. They don't do it Monday. I'm the Tuesday pitcher. I'm the Thursday pitcher. I pitch Saturday. I pitch Sunday afternoon. You know. And you have a full week to sit and rest to take some pressure off of that arm. We're seeing less injuries over there. Is this a reason? Are we just over-attacking our arms? That might be it. I don't have any scientific study to prove this. But I have been watching baseball for a lot of my life. The first minor league baseball game I went to, I was born in September. Minor league baseball starts in April, so what? I would have been 6 months old. Would have been my first baseball game. So I have been watching baseball for a good hot minute. Is it something that's going to change? I don't think it's something that Major League Baseball is going to force a change on. But I do believe it is going to be an organic change in baseball just because teams are going to see this and they're going to get tired of always having the injuries. And we're going to get people that, we don't need 6. We were doing fine with 5. And those were the same people that made the argument when we went from 4 starting pitchers to 5 starting pitchers.
Okay, I've got a question.
Going to happen.
In the Korean and Japanese league, you say there's a Monday pitcher or a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday pitcher. You know what day you're pitching.
Usually, yeah.
Okay, you say usually. So the coach might change it depending on the lineups or...
Yeah, he can. Yeah, it's like you don't have to be like the Wednesday pitcher. You don't have to be the Saturday pitcher. It usually just falls into that rotation. And they usually do save like the bigger guys for like Saturday night or Sunday because weekend games, more attendance, the league kind of encourages that activity, but it doesn't always find out that way because sometimes you'll have like, they're starting their big starter tonight. Let's, bump our Wednesday guy and start him Saturday and the Saturday guy can start Wednesday. And you'll see that happening. They can do those games. But it is just usually, it's very like college baseball. You just usually know, this is the Thursday night guy, this is the Friday night guy, this is the Saturday night guy, and this is our Sunday starter.
Another question. Comparing the rotation of today, and you think we're going to end up at a 6-man rotation, and I think back to Major League Baseball in the 90s when we had a 4-man rotation, maybe there was the 4.5 guy who would get those off days. It didn't seem like the injuries were as prevalent as they are now.
I'll agree with you on that. They're not as prevalent as they are now, but we can also go look at, Nolan Ryan throwing at 105 miles an hour. Everybody was like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh man, he's throwing at 100. You can't watch a single day of baseball right now. If we go just 3 games yesterday, I bet if we go watch all those 3 games yesterday, we at least see 1 or 2 pitches that are over 100 miles an hour.
We're throwing too fast.
I think we're getting to the point where I think we're just pushing the human body to the break point. I don't think the owner, that little nerve you got there, not nerve, but the little tendon you got there on the underside of your elbow, the owner, I just think we are putting so much pressure on it. And we're even getting to a point now where if you're a pitcher and you think you're going to be big, you want to go ahead and maybe even blow that thing when you're younger. and get that Tommy John surgery out of the way. It's not a good idea. It's a bad idea. It's a horrible idea, especially like somebody, if they're 17 and 18 and they're still growing, they're still not into the man body yet. Because let's face it, an 18-year-old is not into his man body yet. You're not going to hit that until you're in, your mid-20s. So you're still at a point where that, tendon is growing and you're stretching it. And if you break it, they're going to take a tendon from somewhere else. That's what they do. And they stick it in there.
Well, who's pushing these kids to do that? I would imagine as we get smarter and sports science advances and we learned from the past that we would be better at managing that sort of thing. The pitch count is certainly under a microscope more than it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's just the kids themselves pushing it because they want to get better, they want to get stronger, and those kids, they know if they want to get into the league now, you can't Greg Maddux your way into the league anymore. You just cannot be a pitcher anymore that just hangs out on the corners and nibbles and every once in a while will throw up like a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That, I think that time period, for right now, I think that time is dead gone and buried. Because right now it's all about two things in baseball: velocity and launch angles. Pitching velocity and then the velocity coming off the bat. And then the other thing we worry about is the launch angle coming off the bat. That's what we worry about. Because we killed the shift, so we can't have the shift anymore, so we don't worry about that. Because that was a worry that we had. That was something we concentrated on, getting that shift just right to make sure that those guys can't get on base because they're just going to hit it right to us. So it's not, baseball is not in the best spot, I think, right now. I think it's getting a little bit too NBA-y, where, you watch an NBA game, oh, look, a three-point. Oh, look, a three-point. Oh, look, a three-point. And it's just a game of three-point shots. Baseball is, I think there's a little bit of come down on that now, because if we look at home run totals this year versus home run totals from last year or the year before, we are not seeing a rise in home run totals this year. Now we are, keeping a long pace with home run totals from last year and the year before, but we're not getting that rise like we saw for like the last decade, where every year, year over year, over year, over year, over year, we were hitting more and more home runs. So maybe we're trying to get off of that launch angle and trying to get off of those velocities and trying to teach kids to hit it where they ain't. But we're still at a point where everything is launch angle and velocity, and that's what we're teaching. And that's kind of what they're teaching in the NBA right now, is get to wherever you hit your three-pointer well, and that's where you shoot it. It doesn't matter. I've seen NBA games where teams are hitting only 20% of their threes for the night, and you go into the fourth quarter only hitting 20%, and they're still throwing up threes, and they're not hitting them. It's like, at some point, stop. Change what you're doing. But it's just such set in the ways.
The strategy is how we're winning in baseball now.
Yeah, the strategy, how we're winning in baseball now: launch angles and velocity. Both the pitching velocity coming off the bat, angle coming off the bat. Those are the three things that are driving baseball right now. And as long as that's driving baseball, we're going to keep on seeing those Tommy Johns getting popped. And one of the ways I think we can help correct it is, I guess, we got to have a way that if a kid throws over like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in high school, it's a ball. Or if he throws like a slider or one of those junk pitches that puts a lot of strain onto the elbows, it's a ball. That's really, you have to legislate it out of existence, basically, because kids aren't going to voluntarily give it up. Coaches aren't voluntarily going to give it up. Leagues got to have encouragement to reduce it. Is it going to happen? Absolutely not. Because you've got to learn how to throw those pitches, and the sooner you start learning, the better you're going to be with it, because, sports are repetition. You're just learning all that muscle memory, and that muscle memory comes from doing it. So I don't think it's going to go away. It's just my thought process on how to help with it. So we'll see what the future brings, but right now, velocity and launch angles, my dudes. This is the Sports Blitz, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. When we get back, how about some trade deadline talk? and we'll go over the month's standings in Major League Baseball because it is the first of the month. The Sports Blitz, Golf Plus, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Want to do something meaningful without overhauling your schedule? Become a big brother or big sister. It's simple. Hang out, listen, be present. Right now, over 300 children in Northwest Florida are waiting for someone like you. Call 850-433-KIDS or visit BeTheBig.org to learn how you can help shape a child's future today.
When it comes to backyard dreams, trust the name that's been making waves for over 65 years. Cox Pools. Serving the entire Florida Panhandle, Cox Pools brings experience, innovation, and quality to every custom pool design. From luxurious spas to resort-style pools, no vision is too big. Make your backyard the place to be with Cox Pools. Cox Pools, 65 years strong and still making a splash. Visit coxpools.com or call 850-235-7957.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves top the Reds 12-11 in Game 1 of the three-game set. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
Well, it was a wild one on Thursday night. Braves topped the Reds 12-11 in 10 innings. Both teams put up 8 runs in the 8th inning.
The fans here are delirious. An 11-11 game in the bottom of the 8th. It was just 11-3 Braves seemingly 10 minutes ago.
It's only the third time in history that two teams have combined to put up 8 runs each in the same inning. The White Sox and Yankees did it on August 2nd, 2007. The Tigers and Rangers on May 8th, 2004. The Braves did find a way to get it done. Marcell Ozuna's sac fly in the 10th was the difference in the game. How about Carlos Carrasco? His first appearance as a Brave. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Quick turn. Braves and Reds game 2 coming your way. 11:25 a.m. Ford leadoff show. First pitch with the Reds as Bryce Elder and Brady Singer square off. 12:40 Eastern, 11:40 Central. Right here on the Braves Radio Network.
You found us. The Sports Blitz. Live from the Golf Plus studios on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz is on the airwaves, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. And for any of your golfing needs, visit Alan Watson at Golf Plus at the shops of Edgewater. Plenty of golf gear. And they also have a very knowledgeable and informative staff. So if you've got something you need fixed, they can fix it for you too. If you're looking for something, I bet Alan Watson and the boys at Golf Plus can find it for you. So head on over, visit Alan Watson, shops at Edgewater, Golf Plus. Make sure you call the show or text the show 850-215-6290. Lines are currently open, and we are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and always feel free to just say hi to us on any of those social mediums. Download our app, take us with you everywhere you go. And you can rely on ESPN Northwest Florida for all of your accurate forecast and active weather updates from Joanna. Just leave it right here, 104.3, for your up-to-the-minute and breaking weather. This weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, Elias Agency Insurance, and Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Let's talk some Major League Baseball trades. Trade deadline yesterday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So all of the moving and shuffling is going to slow down a lot. Now, we're still going to see a little bit of moving and shuffling, not really in terms of trades, but you'll see some maybe guys to be named later, player to be named later, and you'll also be seeing some moves of guys getting, dropped off of the Major League roster to make room for the guys that are coming in. Let's just see some of the bigger trades that happen. The Rangers, one of the last trades of the evening, the Rangers pick up Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks get a haul of minor league pitchers, Cole Drake, Mitch Barrett, and David Hagman. If you remember, Merrill Kelly was one of the guys that shut the Rangers down just a little bit in that World Series. Now, the Rangers did win that World Series, but Merrill Kelly had a great series against the Rangers. What was that? Two World Series ago. So Rangers bringing in some pitching help. The Mets get Cedric Mullins from the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles get a cache of minor league pitchers, Anthony Nunez, Raymond Gomez, and Chandler Marsh. The Mets getting a great outfielder to go along with Soto and those other guys out there. So the Mets looking to be sitting in a good position and have improved the outfield just a little bit, I'd say, just a little bit. The Rays made a trade deal with the Twins. The Rays are going to get Griffin Jax, and the Twins are going to get Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley been pitching with the Rays this season, although earlier in the week didn't have a great game, so he was sent back down to Triple-A. So looks like for this move, it looks like the Rays, Taj Bradley was in his last year of his contract, was looking good, but wasn't showing those big, vast improvements that I think the Rays were looking for with what they like in their pitching staff. So they just went out and grabbed Griffin Jax. Better veteran, has another year of term on him. So for me, this was just the Rays shifting off a guy that I don't think they were going to re-sign for a guy that they could at least throw out next year to have a pitching arm for him, because apparently Taj just was not doing it for him. So, hey, that's why he went back down to AAA. The Red Sox are going to get right-handed pitcher Dustin May from the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to get James Tibbs III and Zach Earhart. Of course, everybody right now saying, I want starting pitching, I want starting pitching, I want starting pitching. Well, the Red Sox said, I want starting pitching, and the Dodgers said, well, we've got a little bit of a glut, even though we've got some injuries in starting pitching. How about we give you a Dustin May, and you give us some outfielders that we can try to develop into something in the future. ESPN gives this trade a solid C. The Red Sox get a C-, the Dodgers get a C+. To me, this was just a shuffling of, Red Sox said, we're willing to take a starting pitcher, even if it is just a loaner, and that we're going to probably lose him at the end of the season if we don't re-up him. But I think the Red Sox are in for a push. And, of course, the Dodgers are in for a push. But the Dodgers are just deep anyways, and now they're just making themselves just a little bit deeper in that minor league system. I don't know how the Dodgers keep on doing this, but they are doing it quite well. The Astros are bringing back Carlos Correa. Let's bang the trash can in celebration. All Carlos Correa heading on back. Looks like he's going to be moving from shortstop to third base, however. And the Twins get left-handed pitcher Matt Mikulski in return. Mikulski, minor league pitcher, so we will just see what forms of that. Here's probably one of the bigger trades that came out from yesterday. The Padres are going to get first baseman Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Lorian, the outfielder, from the Orioles. The Orioles get a glut of minor leaguers. Right-handed pitcher Boston Bateman, great name. Infielder Cobb Hightower. Infielder, outfielder Victoria Fuegos. Right-handed pitcher Tyson Neighbors. Infielder Brandon Butterworth. And right-handed pitcher Tanner Smith. Big upgrade, I do feel, for the Padres. Allows them a guy at first base that is a power bat. It gets them another outfielder that is just going to be able to kind of platoon out there. So that is never a bad thing. And I think even O'Hearn in a pinch can be your emergency catcher. So it is just a great depth piece for the Padres. Orioles picking up a lot of minor leaguers. Hopefully one of them turns out. That's one of those super hard things about judging baseball trades at the deadline. Because it's never like big name for big name. That's not going to happen. Because at a trade deadline in baseball, you're looking for big name, and I will give you, whatever I've got to give up that is not a big name because I need that big name to help me push for that World Series. So these are always hard trades because you've got to wait really like 4 or 5 years to see how the cards play out for the younger guys that are getting traded in all of these trades. Now, I mean, if you go out and you pick up somebody like, if the Padres now, win the World Series, they've won that trade. Padres winning the World Series, that fan base, that city, going to be so stoked about it that it doesn't really matter what you lost in the minor league trades because you're only worried about winning that World Series. It's the same thing the Cubs had a couple years ago where they picked up Chapman for that push, Aroldis Chapman. They got it. They had to give up a lot of minor leaguers to get him. But as a Cubs fan, was it worth it? Was that World Series worth it from that trade? Yes. Yes, it was. Oh, yeah. 108 years later, totally worth it. When we get back, we got our dose of daily oddities. This is the Sports Blitz coming to you, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
What would you think about Matthew McConaughey running for governor of Texas?
I think it's great. We are in an era now where people that are well-known and in some ways trusted by the public are now running for public office. And I know McConaughey moderately well, and I think he genuinely cares about the state. I didn't know he was running, but I think he would be great.
He's not. I don't know if he is.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 90 with a moderate breeze out of the southwest around 14 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with lows around 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 87. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
WGSX Lynn W Field Q Fort St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive.
Sports Blitz is on the air, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. You can call the show. You can text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us there as ESPN Northwest Florida. Download our app. We're on the Google Play Store. We're on the Apple App Store. Again, ESPN Northwest Florida is where you can find us. And visit the website, ESPNPC.com. And I've got a deal for you. I've got a great deal for you. It comes from Scorpion TV with over 5,000 live streaming channels, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. They even have pay-per-view events, over 400 local channels as well. All of this can be yours with this deal I am about to give you for $45.08 a month. To get this great deal, just visit Scorpion TV's website and enter ESPN NW for your deal. You can watch on up to 5 devices at once. So cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. It is time now for our daily dose of oddities, because truth is always stranger than fiction. Well, yesterday, if we remember, we got to learn about radioactive wasps. That's awesome. I love, the idea of like a giant wasp flying around and I'm getting stung by it, and like I can almost see it like stinging me and like going all the way through my body and not getting any of the poison because the thing is just so big and radioactive with its glowing green eyes. Well, how about some more stories of injecting animals with some radioactivity?
Cool.
Mokopane, South Africa. A South African university launched an anti-poaching campaign Thursday to inject the horns of rhinos with radioactive isotopes that it says are harmless for the animals but can be detected by customs agents. Under a collaborative project involving the University of Witwatersrand, nuclear engineering officials, and conservationists, 5 rhinos were injected in what the university hopes will become a mass injection and a help to the declining rhino population. They're calling it the Rhizotope Project. Oh, I love it. Rhizotope instead of isotope. Great. Love the name. Nice. Last year, about 20 rhinos at the sanctuary were injected with isotopes in trials that paved the way for Thursday's launch. The radioactive isotopes, even at low levels, can be recognized by radiation detectors at airports and borders, leading to the arrest of poachers and traffickers. Researchers at Witwatersrand's Radiation and Health Physics Unit say that the tests conducted in the pilot study confirmed that the radioactive material was not harmful to the rhinos. We have demonstrated beyond scientific doubt that the process is completely safe for the animal and effective in making the horn detectable through international customs nuclear security systems, said James Lincoln, Chief Scientific Officer at the Rhizotope Project. Even a single horn with significant lower levels of radioactivity radioactivity than what will be used in the practice successfully triggered alarms in radioactive detectors, said Larkin. The test also found that the horns could be detected inside full 40-foot shipping containers, he said. The International Union for Conservation of Nature estimates that the global rhino population is somewhere around 500,000 at the beginning of the 20th century, but has now declined somewhere to 27,000 due to contained demand for rhino horns on the black market. South Africa has the largest population of rhinos with an estimated 16,000, but the country's experiences of high levels of poaching with about 500 rhinos killed for their horns every year. The university has urged private wildlife park owners and national conservation authorities to be a part of the project. So there we go. Maybe, Were you a Ninja Turtle kind of guy, BC? You remember the Ninja Turtles?
I'm very familiar with them, but I was not a Ninja Turtle guy.
So they had one of the antagonists for Mr. Shredder was a giant rhinoceros, and I cannot remember his name. If anybody else remembers the name, call us, text us 850-215-6290. But all I remember was like they had this radioactive mutant rhino. That is one of the things that the Ninja Turtles had to fight all the time. So now I have giant irradiated rhinoceros horns and giant radiated wasp flying around. The world.
So we're going to be able to track those poachers trying to get that stuff through the airport.
Yeah, basically that's what they're looking for. Or even also like when you go through customs, like at a ship port too. So they'll take all of those, box containers, those Connex box containers, and they'll scan them. They'll put them through, they'll have them searched, they'll have them scanned. So basically all those things, get checked off pretty well nowadays, especially with the new administration and looking for everything coming in so they can tariff it. They're really searching all those things. So hopefully we can reduce the number of these guys being killed just so you can take the horn off. And the thing is you don't even got to kill them to take the horn off. You can just cut the thing off and they live fine the rest of their lives. Now, you're taking away one of their defensive weapons, but it does not kill them to remove the horn. And actually some places in Africa have started doing that, at some wildlife parks to just reduce poaching is, well, if it doesn't have a horn, they can't get it. So they just cut it off and let the rhino go back out into the park and say, live your life, buddy.
Tough choice, but I get it.
All right, what else do we have here? Not really a news story, but a informative thing coming from the UK. The Victorian Machete Amnesty will run from September 1st, 2025 to the 30th of November, 2025. Here is how you can find out where to safely deposit your machete. A machete amnesty will run from the 1st of September to the 30th of November to support the safe disposal of machetes. Safe disposal bins will be installed at select police stations across the metropolitan and regional Victoria area. You can hand in a machete without penalty during this time. More information about the Victorian Machete Amnesty will be available soon. Really? Like, you all you got to do is just... England, man, you got some weird laws sometimes. But I guess, I guess what I am picturing in my head here is like a Monty Python sketch. We're all familiar with Monty Python. And I am just like seeing like a knight in like shining armor, like walking up to one of these disposal things and like trying to shove a sword in it, It's just like, really? All right. So, yeah. So if you got any machetes and you're hanging out in the Victoria area of the United Kingdom, there is a way that you can turn them in and not get in trouble for all of my listeners out there in Victoria. Just letting you guys be informed. So don't be carrying your machetes around there, guys. Leave them at home. Coming up next, what do we got? We got a police investigation. All right, what do we got? Police are investigating the bizarre death of a young woman who died with 26 iPhones glued to her body. The 20-year-old from Brazil was a passenger on a bus from Foz de Iguaçu to Sao Paulo on July 29th when she fell ill. Emergency services were called around 10:30 p.m. when the bus stopped at a restaurant in Guiparva in southern Brazil when the woman complained of breathing difficulties. Despite the efforts of paramedics with the mobile emergency care services, her breathing worsened soon after and she had a seizure in the restaurant. After about 45 minutes of trying to revive her, the woman was declared dead. While they were trying to treat the woman who was traveling alone, the paramedics noted several packages attached to her body, according to local media outlet Gazeta do Paraná. Police later confirmed they were packages containing 26 iPhones that had been glued directly to her skin. It is believed that the woman may have been attempting to smuggle the items to avoid paying the high taxes that electronic goods attract when bringing them across the border into Brazil. Her luggage was found to contain several bottles of alcohol. A search with a sniffer dog did not uncover any illicit drugs. The phones and the alcohol have been seized. The woman's body has been sent to the Forensic Medical Institute to investigate the cause of death. The Parana Civil Police are investigating the cause and awaiting the conclusion of the forensics report to clarify the cause of death, police said. Police are also investigating the origin of the iPhones. The woman's identity has not been revealed. Big shout out to Jack Patterson listening to us on Facebook. Thank you so much, Jack, tuning in and taking out. And we got a caller on the line, Jasper from North Carolina. Jasper, welcome.
Well, treat me with dignity. I am the brother Jasper Walls of the 1611 Independent Baptist Church, but I want to talk about golf.
Yes, sir. Bring it to me.
All right. I'm up here near Sedgefield Country Club where they're having that Wyndham event, and it's a debauchery. Let me tell you, they got the Tito's tent, they got the Margaritaville. I just can't hardly go out there, but I think I will skip church Sunday to go watch it. If Keenan Bradley is on the Ryder Cup, who is he going to choose? He's got a surprise announcement, he says, about who will be his new assistant captain. Is it Tiger Woods, or is it the guy that hits left-handed, but he's from San Diego, can't remember. Phil Mickelson. Because they both are loved up there in New York City. Which one do you think you'll pick?
Ooh, if it's going to be one of those two, I doubt it would be Tiger, so give me Phil, because I think Tiger's too much of a I am my own guy kind of dude. I can see Phil Mickelson being more of like a teammate kind of in player.
Right. They're both such mightily successful Ryder Cuppers. I was going to suggest that they get Lou Graham, the 1975 winner from Nashville, Tennessee. Went to Father Ryan High School.
Like it.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't know if Lou's still alive. I think he is, actually. But he was not in Happy Gilmore 2. But I got another question. Was that Taylor Swift in the bear suit in Happy Gilmore 2 who in the dream sequence attacks Travis Kelce?
I have not watched the movie, but that description does make me want to believe that it is Taylor Swift inside of the bear suit.
Sure. They're denying it. Now, Adam Sandler denies it, I think, or maybe whatever. Anyway, play Bay Point as much as you can, brother.
Yes, sir. Will do. Thank you, Brother Jasper.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday out there at the 3M Open, my brother. All right, guys. We got some baseball on. We got the Atlanta Braves taking on the Cincinnati Reds. We are in the third inning, top of the third inning. Braves got Matt Olson at first base. It is a 0-0 ball game. 1 out on the board in the top of the third. Austin Riley at the plate takes a nice big old cut right down the right field line for a foul ball. Let's get back into one or two more oddities. You are listening to the Sports Blitz, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. You can call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. All right, it's a Florida man time. A man is under arrest for stealing Smokey the Bear signs from across Florida. Smokey is always around our forest and just got lucky today that he saw the bad guy and got him handcuffed, said the Agricultural Commissioner Wilton Simpson. What an idiot. What an idiot. Law enforcement officers with the Department of Agriculture say the suspect was posting the signs for sale on Facebook Marketplace at $1,900 apiece. Smokey goes to schools. He is known by the children. He's known by our families. He is known throughout the United States, said Simpson. Legend. Who goes and steals an image of Smokey the Bear and tries to profit from it? The thefts shed a spotlight on the state's effort to prevent forest fires, which destroyed 24,000 acres in 2024. The department did a 277,000 acre of control burn in 2024 and spent nearly $93 million on upgraded equipment. And yes, they dispatched Smokey to remind us that only you can prevent forest fires.
Nice.
It's also why they had their own law enforcement department. They caught the thief in the act. If you're going to go in and commit crimes in our forest, you probably need to find a different place, said Simpson. Not only will you find smoke in some of the forest, but you'll also find our car officers. This time, Smokey got his revenge. He's not throwing this criminal haphazardly into the woods. We're the most pro-law enforcement state in the union, said Simpson. Smokey the Bear is on the job also. The man whose name has not yet been released has been taken to jail. Criminal charges are pending, but Simpson said he will face jail time. So yes, only you can prevent forest fires. Oh, no, isn't it wildfires now? Only you can prevent wildfires. I think they've changed that in the last few years from forest fire to wildfire.
Who's doing the voice for it now? Is it that guy that used to be on Seinfeld?
Sam Elliott did it for the longest time. Stephen Colbert did it for like a minute or two. He only did 2 or 3 ads, and he just did not have the voice
Smokey
for
the
it.
Bear.
I'm Smokey. Yeah, it needs to be that, like Sam Elliott, only you. Yeah, it just sounded so much better. I got to go look up who it is now. We'll just find out. Smokey.
Only you can
the Bear voice. Who is it? Google, tell me. Right now, of course, take me to a Facebook Wikipedia page. Perfect. Scroll, and I am not finding it quick enough, so we'll just go with Sam Elliott for right now. We'll just say it is Sam Elliott because he has that really, really great voice for it. Oh, I did find it. It is Brian Tyree Henry, and he has been doing the voice of Smokey the Bear since 2024.
Who?
Brian Tyree Henry. He is a stage actor and has received nominations for Academy Award, Critics' Choice Awards, Primetime Emmy Awards, Screen Actor Guild. I'm trying to find something that I would know him in. He was in
He's a nobody.
He was in FX's Atlanta from 2016 to 2022.
What is that?
I did not.
Somebody buried on the WB. Yeah.
Let's see other things. This Is Us 2017, an NBC drama, and he was on Apple TV series Dope Thief. So I got nothing, man. I haven't seen any of those
We're
things.
talking about him.
Hey, man, happy to help him out, man.
And the one guy who knows who he is, like, oh wow, I can't believe they're talking about this. Nobody.
Brian Henry, if you are listening, man. Call the show in, 850-215-6290, and give us
Smokey the Bear.
The Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent wildfires. Do that for us, man. We will be big-time fans and always happy to have you here on the show. Well, that was our daily dose of oddities out there. The truth is always stranger than fiction. Go through the National League standings really kind of quick. We'll start off in the National League East. The New York Mets got the first position right now, 62-47. The Phillies coming in at second, half a game behind the Mets, 61-47. The Marlins, yes, the Marlins are the third place team at 52-55, 9 games behind the Mets. The Atlanta Braves at 46-62, 15.5 games behind the Mets, and the Nationals bringing up the caboose at 44-64, 17.5 games behind. That's disturbing, guys. We're hanging out with the Nationals. That's a spot that I did not see us hanging out in this year. I figured the Marlins would have been last, and then we would have had the Nationals, and then we would have seen the Mets, and then the Braves, and then the Phillies at top. But no, my preseason guesses have been absolutely so wrong so far. National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers got the lead there, 64-44. Cubs in second place with 1 game behind at 63-45. Cincinnati Reds at 57-53, 8 games behind. The St. Louis Cardinals 55-55. That's an even 500, 10 games behind. And the Pittsburgh Pirates 47 and 62, 17 and a half games behind. In the West of the National League, the Dodgers still holding on to the lead out there, 63 and 46. Coming in at second, the San Diego Padres, 60 and 49, 3 games behind. The San Francisco Giants, 54 and 55, 9 games back. The Arizona Diamondbacks, 51 and 58, 12 games behind. And the lowly Rockies, 28 and 80, 34 and a half games behind. Man, that is a brutal record, but they are 4 and 6 in the last 10. That's kind of a crazy number for the Rockies because most of the time they've been rocking like a 2 and 8 or a 1 and 8. But now looking at 4 and 6. The Rockies have actually looked better after the All-Star break. That's the crazy part. And they're looking not too bad after trading away some key pieces like McMahon. Another crazy part. Now, are they going to start and have this amazing run? No. They got about 50 games left and you're 34 and a half games out. That takes everybody in the league working together to get you into a playoff spot. So they're dead, gone, and done in the water. But it is kind of interesting that they're picking up the pace at the end of the season. I guess maybe they're looking forward to next season and trying to get themselves hyped up to be back to do it again, boys. Coming up next, great friend of the show, Aaron Bearden, owner of Instant Replay right here in Panama City, will be joining us. You are tuned into the Sports Blitz from the Golf Plus Studios. Call us 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated. Ooh, Dallas and the New York Giants, Bears, Packers. Those are 1 o'clock window games in the NFL. The best rivalry is Kansas City and Buffalo. It has no great historical context. It's Mahomes against Josh Allen.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday afternoon. The remainder of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and 90 with a moderate breeze out of the southwest around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning and then likely thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Mom and Dad, another school year will soon be here. Students have been dressing in style and comfort for over 50 years shopping that boot store with the widest selections and lowest prices on brand name clothing, boots, and shoes with the friendliest staff. Why shop anyplace else? That boot store, open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30, next to Bill Bird Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store, where God is good all the time.
It's the Sports Blitz. Live from the Golf Plus Studios. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned in to the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. James Fife here in the captain's chair, Bone Crusher on the board, taking care of everything to make sure we're heading out to that world that we call radio. You can call the show. You can text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe ESPN Northwest Florida, and download our app to your phone, to your tablet, to your computer. Take us with you everywhere you go. We're into the top of the fourth inning. The Braves, nothing. The Cincinnati Reds, nothing. Michael Harris up to the plate. 1 out against the Braves. That is time now that we take our collection to the next level. It is Aaron Bearden, owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards from the 23rd Street Studios over there. Actually, not really a studio, more of a store. But Mr. Bearden, how is your Friday?
Hey, it's fantastic so far. How about you guys?
We are having a great time on this Friday because it's Friday. We know the weekend's coming up, so it is just a fun time. All right, Aaron. Went by the shop yesterday, or not yesterday, but a couple days ago, and it looks like expansion, I want to say. Are we expanding?
Yes. Yeah, we're in the middle of it. We are more than doubling the size of the shop. We acquired the unit next door to us, so hopefully over this weekend it will look completely different to folks, maybe as soon as tomorrow. So we're going to have room to expand all the product lines, more of everything that we already carry, and it's going to be a lot of new stuff as well. Should be really exciting.
You're still open and still having people coming on in to get their cards and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sweet.
There's been no disruption to store hours or store events at all.
Very, very nice. So what kind of great plans do you have for expansion? Any kind of new, cool type things you're thinking of doing?
Yeah. There's going to be some interactive things, more stuff for kids. More stuff involving grading, because we're getting a lot of people that come in that, still don't know a lot. There's a lot of sort of myths and a lot of gray, cloudy areas surrounding grading. So more things to explain things like that to collectors and help them make the best possible choices. So, yeah, it'll be plenty of new merchandise, plenty of new memorabilia, but also, a lot of things that aren't just about selling an item, a lot of things that are about just making it a place to be, a place to hang out.
Very, very nice. So I guess since you're expanding, you're going to have more room, you're going to have more stuff. Does that also mean that you will be hiring?
Yes. Yeah, we are in the middle of hiring right now for quite a few different roles. So, yeah, if you want to join the team, hey, it's a fun place to be. It's an exciting place right now. A lot of new things happening. So, yeah, we're looking for people. You don't necessarily have to have a background in card collecting. It's got the right attitude and, want to pitch in and join the squad. Come on down and see us, grab an application, and let us know, a little bit about what you're into, what your background is, all that sort of thing. But, yeah, absolutely. And if you do have a background in cards, hey, that's really cool also.
All right, so all they got to do is just head on down to the shops there on 23rd, 752 23rd Street, and just pick up an application. That's what they need?
It's as simple as that.
Excellent. Well, you heard it, people. You heard it. If you're looking for a great job and a good, relaxed atmosphere, head on over, talk to Aaron Instant Replay. He'll hook you up, my guys. All right.
I like that hiring process.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
nice and easy.
Not like a bunch of accounts you got to create on a web page, a bunch of hoops to jump through.
Oh yeah, fill out your application on the web page and then mail us an application. It's like, why do I got to do both?
Aaron, do you have a black hole we can put our resume into with that?
Oh God, that's what I.
Never see it again. Right. Somebody told me, a customer of mine, a really interesting piece of advice. He's in a totally different line of work, but he hires a lot of seasonal workers and a lot of young folks. And he told me one time, just talking about something else, he goes, I get a lot of parents who come to me and say, hey, my kid needs a summer job and all that. And he said, that is the biggest red flag. He said, if the kid won't come down and put in their own application, that tells me they're not motivated about working. Mom and dad are motivated about them getting out of the house and working.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, that just usually means they're not they're not going to be motivated to come do the work on their own.
Oh.
So he said, I want to see those kids come do it themselves.
Oh, yeah, that would be like an immediate
I see
red
that on
flag.
Facebook all the time. Oh, my 16-year-old is looking for a job. Then why isn't your 16-year-old posting that they're looking for a job? Why are you doing it for them?
Yeah, your 16-year-old's profile says nothing about this, but yours
I know what that dinner
does.
conversation was like.
Mom, don't say that about me on Facebook.
Exactly. Yeah. So come on down and fill out an application, and like I say, talk to us. And,
Awesome. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Aaron. Good luck, all new employees out there that are going to be a part of the Instant Replay Sports Card family.
Crucial.
All right, so I've got a couple of card things here. Didn't know if you've seen some of these things or not, but the Caitlin Clark, her WNBA Flawless logo woman, the one-of-one autograph, has just sold for $660,000.
Great, cool. I guess to me that kind of stuff, for those kind of cards, they make a big fuss about those sales. But I sort of think of it like that's like being here in Florida and going, "Oh man, somebody in Illinois hit the Powerball, so I'm not going to go out and play the lottery this weekend because I can't win that." That's how a lot of people view that. Like, well, that card got pulled and it got sold, so I'm not going to buy any product now because I can't get that one card.
My look at on this one is it just kind of, I think, shows the level of popularity now that women's sports is starting to bring in, because the last highest selling card at an auction was also a Caitlin Clark card the year before at $325K. So basically the value of a Clark, the Clark card of that year has doubled, which to me says more of an interest in the cards in the collection and also just in women's sports in general.
Yeah, somewhat it is. To people who don't collect, it can be a little misleading, though, because like that being a flawless card, a flawless one-of-one is going to go for more than, say, a Donruss one-of-one or, a score one-of-one, even though it's no more rare. It's no more, exclusive or hard to find. It's just that brand, attracts a little more high-end respect than those other cards. So it may be that, whatever sold before may have been one of those other brands. It may seem like it's, the demand is doubling, but now that the Flawless one-of-one is out, and by the way, that's one-of-one out of Flawless, she'll have several. It may be the next one-on-one that comes out is from a lesser product, and we're back down to $300,000, or like that's a disappointment or something. But yeah, some of that is that product is stuff that particularly basketball and football collectors, they love the Flawless.
Oh, they're good-looking cards too.
Oh yeah, they are, and like I say, it's an expensive product. It commands a little more attention, but it's still one-of-one out of a $2 pack is no more common than a one-of-one out of a $20,000 pack. So I think that's part of the information, part of it. But I don't know. I don't see, because of her injuries and some things like that, that the demand for her cards across the board is what it was, say, 7 or 8 months ago.
You are tuned in.
But I think those.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, but I think those huge cards like that, people have been waiting for. People with big money in the industry, they've been waiting for that flawless card. So whether her normal rookie cards are down 10% or 20% or whatever from 8 months ago, they were still waiting on that one-of-one flawless card to come out because that's like the one they want.
You are tuned into the Sports Blitz, coming to you live 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida from the Golf Plus studios. On the phone with us right now, Aaron Bearden, owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, so Topps Chrome, you need to go pick me up a box. You going to be in this afternoon? I'll come see you.
Yeah, I'm here all day.
All right, man. I'll come see you.
8 o'clock tonight.
I'll come see you sometime this afternoon. But I got a question for you with Topps Chrome. So I know Topps Chrome is doing the buyback program again for the National League and American League MVP. And my guy right now that I am seeing being the front runner for the American League MVP is not on the checklist. So what does Topps do then? Do they go to the guy that was in second? or do they like double up your awards for the National League winner?
Yes. So this is something Topps addressed when they first started doing the buyback program, and people thought, well, that's never going to happen. If the MVP doesn't have a card in the Topps Chrome product, if they have one in Topps Chrome Update, that card will count for the buyback program. So, and I'm sure with the season that he's had, the Chrome Update, those cards are going to account for, people that kind of took off mid-season, stuff like that. That's where Raleigh would have a card if he should win MVP over Judge.
All right, so
and I'm still thinking if Judge can stay healthy, it may be a lot tighter than people think. Yeah, Raleigh's hitting a ton of home runs. Batting average is certainly not there with what Judge is doing. And we'll see. Part of it's going to depend on what the teams do, where they finish. They always say that, like postseason play doesn't affect MVP and all that. But, man, if you can turn a team around and, you're out of first place and then a guy goes on a tear and they wind up back in first, yeah, that's definitely going to have an impact on it.
And it's also a popularity contest. And let's face it, the Yankees are a very popular team.
They're very polarizing. Yeah, they are super popular with the people they're popular with, super unpopular with the people they're unpopular with. I don't think the Mariners kind of move the needle either way. That way, there are people that like the Mariners, but I don't know of people that just hate the Mariners. I mean, why would you? What have they done to anybody?
Yeah, unless you're playing in the American League West, it's more like, oh yeah, the Mariners are a baseball team. I know.
Yeah, and even if you're an Angels fan, you get to look back and be like, man, Trout owned, King Felix every time they went up against each other. You don't even have that thing of man, they beat my team every time. No, they're just out there doing their thing. They win some, they lose some. I get people that, sort of hate the Yankees for beating their team. But, so it is a popularity contest to a large degree. But I think if you look back through the history of baseball, there have been a lot of guys who won MVP who it seemed like they were having a great year that year, and they won it maybe over somebody that now we look up to as a legend. And it wouldn't surprise me if Aaron Judge is in the middle of a Hall of Fame career. Maybe this is Raleigh's one good year. He could still win MVP, and 50 years from now, people look back and be like, who was Raleigh? It's possible.
Oh, absolutely, because there's all kinds of flashes in the pan.
In 1965 American League MVP, Zoilo Versalles from the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
Ask anybody now if they remember Zoilo Versalles, and he really probably shouldn't have won that year. There's a year Maury Wills won it over Willie Mays, and you look back now at the stats, and you're like, why didn't Willie Mays get MVP that year? So
exactly. Well, I saw a kind of a cool piece of history hitting one of the auction blocks for October, and it was the last home jersey Lou Gehrig wore for the Yankees. That's just one of those things. I just wanted to bring it up just because just the history and the nostalgia and everything that would be attached to that. That to me is, even I know that I have no chance of getting in on this auction to even just be a member of this auction. They're going to look at my income and go, no, get out of here. But it's one of those things I would just love to go up and just see the auction and just see the item and just kind of feel the tensity of the room there.
Yeah, it's amazing some of that stuff exists. I know, from the card side, card companies love to get their hands on that stuff and cut it up and put it in a card. And their thing is, well, that way a lot of people get to enjoy it. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with an intact, jersey like that going into a museum or being on display at a stadium, and you get to enjoy the full thing. Like you say, there's a reverence. As sports fans, those pieces of equipment we see like that, whether they're at a Hall of Fame or whatever, being in the presence of it, you don't quite get that when they cut it into a half-inch square and put it on a card. It doesn't impact you the same way.
Yeah.
So, that'd be a great piece to see.
Yeah, it's one of those. I have a couple of, patch cards in my collection from guys that I like, but it's one of those, I don't mind them doing it, like a game that was played on July 8th or something that doesn't really mean anything. Sure, those are great to cut up, but don't cut up the last jersey some Hall of Famer, a guy we know is going to go into the Hall of Fame. That's a jersey I don't want to see cut up. That's like a jersey I want to see in Cooperstown.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's fine with ones that are already, let's take Lou Gehrig, for example. Those jerseys are, 90 years old now. Some of them are falling apart. Some of them, there's not much left. Maybe there's just a little scrap remaining of it that's even really identifiable. Yeah, cut those up. The bats, you got shredded bats that, they wouldn't put on display. Chop those up. But, yeah, don't go in and take these intact. This is the bat that so-and-so hit his 500th home run with. Let's go cut that up.
Yeah,
don't do that. And I like that now the way they do it a lot of times is the card companies give these guys equipment just for that. So they'll say, hey, go out and wear this jersey today for your first at bat. And then when you come back in, you can go change into a different jersey. They'll provide them with that stuff. So it still gets to be game-worn, game-used, but there's no less of their regular equipment out there. So, it fulfills both ends of that.
So with expansion going on, what kind of upcoming events do you have this week or this weekend at Instant Replay?
Yeah, we've got our kids club as usual tonight. Bring those kids in, get on some very affordable breaks. They get to hang out with other kids that collect cards, trade, and learn about cards, and they will leave here with tons of cards for their collection. And tomorrow at noon, we've got breaks in the shop. Come in, hang out around the table with fellow group of collectors and open product. There's some new stuff out, obviously Topps Chrome. Leaf Metal Baseball just came out today. A lot of fun stuff to open up tomorrow. Then tomorrow night is our Pokemon Kids Play and Trade Night. Kids 16 and under. Come in and swap Pokemon. We'll do some trivia and some giveaways, and a lot of fun for the kids to be able to trade in an environment where they're not pressured by adults to get rid of their cards and stuff like that. Just kids having fun trading with other kids.
That's how you learn. That's how you teach the kids. Let them learn. They don't always have to have an adult there to tell them to do everything. I like what you're doing there, Aaron.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry, that you as a parent, you bought your kid this really expensive card, and he comes home and goes, oh, I tried this, this adult told me, this card was worth $100, and turns out it's a $2 card, and they've been taken advantage of. We don't want that.
Yep. Let the kids be with the kids, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you are doing there, my friend. Any new products you need to let us know about?
Yeah, like I say, Leaf Metal Baseball just hit the shelves today. I have not even had a chance to see it yet. I expect it to be great. Leaf has been on a roll lately. And, of course, that Topps Chrome we were just talking about. And, hey, everybody, by the way, tomorrow morning, new episode of the Card Shop Show. We are back, second half of Season 1. We are talking all about Fanatics Fest on there. Going to show you a bunch of footage from Fanatics Fest and Yankee Stadium as well. Talk about that Lou Gehrig jersey. We've got a Babe Ruth jersey and a Babe Ruth game-to-use bat on there to show off. So definitely tune in for the Card Shop Show tomorrow on Fox 28, tomorrow morning.
Excellent. Great things going on, Mr. Bearden.
Absolutely, man. Keeping it going 7 days a week over here.
All right, everybody. Aaron Bearden, Instant Replay Sports Cards, the owner over there. Head on and visit him at his shop, 752 West 23rd Street in beautiful Panama City, Florida. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us on this Friday.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. Folks, take care.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron Bearden. Aaron Bearden, Instant Replay Sports Cards. Kids Night tonight. Got breaks tomorrow. Pokemon Night tomorrow night. And be sure to watch for the new episode of the Card Shop tomorrow. When we get back, we got our $2 bets, this day in history, and what games we are looking forward to this weekend. The Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call us, text us, 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Be patient with Ty Simpson. He's going to be just fine. And that scares me to death when I hear somebody close to the program saying, be patient. I don't want to be patient. I want to be ready. I want to be excited. I want to be, let's get the bells and whistles out and be ready to blow explosions up because we're going to score 40 points a game.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Show off your style and drive away in a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 from Bill Bird Kia. The 2025 K4 delivers sleek design, smart safety features, and an impressive fuel efficiency. Are you looking for something with a little more space and a confident sporty appeal? The 2025 Kia K5 delivering a sleek design, smooth ride, and advanced driver's assistant features, all designed to keep you safe and comfortable on every drive. Now offering 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. Discover what drives you at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 with 2209 for 1,000 finance in 48 months. Quality limited cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Plus take delivery from dealer stock through 8425.
You found us. The Sports Blitz. Live from the Golf Plus studios on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz coming to you on this Friday, last segment of the show before the weekend gets kicked off. We are coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And if you got any golfing needs, head on over to Golf Plus, shops at Edgewater. Visit Alan Watson. Just tell him what you need. He will take care of you. You can call the show and you can text the show 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. ESPN Northwest Florida is where you can find us on all of the social medias. You can download our app. We are on the Google Play Store. We are on the Apple App Store. ESPN Northwest Florida, again, is how you find us. Visit the website, espnpc.com. And ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. The Atlanta Braves back on our airwaves again tomorrow night, pregame 5 o'clock. First pitch 6:15 against the Cincinnati Reds at Bristol Motor Speedway. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bestway Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, and Brock Pest Control. Let's get into the $2 bets. Yesterday, one of my bets hit. It just so happened to be the over on the over-under for the Chargers-Lions game. So my $2 bet there netted me $3.74 back to me. So a total gain of $1.74. I missed on the Yankees and Rays because Josh Lowe did not get a hit, and I said he would get one. And I missed on the Braves-Reds because I said Profar would get a hit. He did not. Oh, well, such is the way that the cookie crumbles. So what do we got for tonight? Just going with some games for tonight. I thought about going over the weekend, but I just said, nah, we're sticking with tonight. So I got the Cubs to beat the Orioles. I am going to take the over on runs at 7.5. I got Seiya Suzuki for over half a hit, and I got Kyle Tucker for over half a hit. That is a $2 bet. If it lands, I got $11.50 coming back to me. My next bet, we are heading over to the Tigers, taking on the Phillies. I am going to take the Tigers plus 1.5 runs. Going with the over on runs at 7.5. I got Flaherty to have over 6.5 strikeouts. And I got Nick Castellanos at over half a hit. That is a $2 bet. $20 is my return if all four of those land. And my last one of the night, combining a few games together, I'll take the Yankees to win over the Marlins. I'll take the Padres to win over the Cardinals, and I will take the Rangers plus 1.5 runs against the Mariners. That $2 bet, if it returns back to me, will be $8.57.
No way. That's not going to happen.
No.
A lot of things have to happen.
A lot of things got to happen. The one I actually kind of feel best about is actually the Cubs line, because Suzuki and Tucker are hitting quite well right now. But I thought Profar was on a nice little hot streak until last night, where he proved me wrong. So, hey, what do I know? I only sit here and talk about it. I don't actually go out and play it. All right, let's roll on into this day in history. It is Friday, August 1st, 2025. Happy Friday. And first of the month, happy August, everyone. Well, on this day, 1936, the Berlin Olympics has its opening and they begin competition. 1945, New York's Mel Ott hits his 500th home run in a 9-2 victory over the Boston Braves at the Polo Grounds. Only Babe Ruth with 714 and Jimmy Fox with 527 have more home runs at the time. 1963, Arthur Ashe becomes the first African-American tennis player to be named to the U.S. Davis Cup team. 1972, Nate Colbert of the San Diego Padres drives in 13 runs in a doubleheader to sweep the Atlanta Braves 9-0 in Game 1 and 11-7 in Game 2.
Wow.
13 RBIs in one game. I got to say, that's a good day in the office. 1987, Mike Tyson wins the undisputed heavyweight championship with a 12-round unanimous decision over IBF champion Tony Tucker in Las Vegas. I think people forget just how big and dominant Mike Tyson was back then.
Right.
You know, because now he's like doing cartoons and things like that and fighting Jake Paul in fake fights or whatever that was. Right. And now, you know, if you go back and you watch some of those videos of Tyson, I mean, he wasn't a boxer. He was just literally a brawler. He just went out there and just punched you as hard as he could. I don't think he had any great techniques or like any deeper thoughts on how to do it other than I'm just going to punch this guy as hard as I can. And it worked for him. Don't get me wrong. It worked great for him. This day, 1994, Baltimore's Cal Ripken becomes the second Major League Baseball player to play in 2,000 straight games when the Orioles defeat the Minnesota Twins 1-0. This day, 2002, signing the star linebacker Ray Lewis to a 5-year contract extension, the Baltimore Ravens give him a $19 million signing bonus. At the time, that $19 million signing bonus was the largest in NFL history. And as we know in this day and age in football in 2025, that $19 million signing bonus from 2002 has been eclipsed many, many, many times over. And on this day, 2012, 4 teams are kicked out of the women's badminton doubles at the London Olympics for trying to lose on purpose. The 8 players from China, South Korea, and Indonesia are cited for conduct clearly abusive or detrimental to the sport. And that is this day in history. Hopefully some gets made tonight and we can talk about it next year.
Taking a dive.
Taking a dive. It's like, no, I don't want to play badminton. Why am I playing badminton? I don't want to be here playing badminton. I want to go home. I'm going to lose at badminton. I remember when that happened, and I just had to kind of look at it and go, wow, really? You're going to take all that time and effort and training and going through tournaments in China and South Korea and Indonesia and convincing the Olympic Committee that, yes, I'm really the people that you want to send and we're going to do great. And then you go and go, you know what? Now that I'm here, I don't want to be an Olympic athlete. Do I have to be an Olympic athlete? I don't want to be an Olympian.
There's got to be something under the surface.
I would say so. I think there has to be a little bit more than they wanted to lose. I got to say somebody wanted them to lose and encouraged them with some yens or bongo bucks or whatever they got down there in Indonesia. You're tuned into the Sports Blitz, coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. You can call or text the show 850-215-6290. What am I looking forward to this weekend? Well, I got two things listed here. One of them is just a game I am looking forward to, and that happens to be the Braves taking on the Reds. This game will be tomorrow from Bristol Motor Speedway. And most of my interest in that game is, one, Braves, and two, it's an off site. It's a neutral site that hasn't been used before. It's different. How will it play? How will it look?
Yeah.
How is the lighting going to be? Because it's lit for a NASCAR track, so it's lit for going around the circle, not really lit directly to the middle of the infield where you're putting a baseball diamond, but they did put up, ancillary lights. So, they put up some, temporaries to shine onto the field, so that way the field is properly lit like a Major League Baseball field.
What are the dimensions going to be like?
Oh, I did not look up. I love that question. So
we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we can find out tomorrow, but I bet we could find out right now for Bristol baseball. I'm going to say it's, okay, I have got it. The dimensions for Bristol Field.
800 feet to the left turn embankment. Yeah.
Actually, I kind of thought they'd do something like that, like make it just like this totally weird
like the Polo
shape.
Grounds or something?
Yes, I thought that would have been a great idea. Yeah. But no, they actually did build what we consider now a traditional ballpark in shape. I did find it. So down the lines and down both lines, it is 330 feet. It is 400 feet to straightaway center, 375 to the right field gap, and 385 to the left field gap. So pretty standard, pretty symmetrical ballpark there. No weird angles or anything like that. That's one of the things I love about baseball is each park is different. I know some people don't like it and they want uniformity. No, I don't want uniformity. We already have uniformity. The plate and the mound, 60 feet, 6 inches apart. That's uniform. To first base, 90 feet. To second base, 90 feet. To third base, 90 feet. Home plate, 90 feet. That's uniform. I like how every baseball stadium is different for the field and how it plays. I think that is one of the cooler aspects of baseball because of that, where if you look at every single other sport, it's kind of all the same. I mean, yes, the playing field in one NFL stadium is going to play a little bit differently than the other, but they all look the same. They are all the same dimensions. There is nothing different about it. It is all 100 yards wide or 100 yards long, 120 yards long if we're going to count the end zones, and we're at 55 yards wide. Every single one. But not every single baseball stadium is 330 down the line and 400 to center. They're all different.
I was kind of hoping.
And that's what I like. And for what I have serious interest in, I got the Rangers taking on the Mariners this weekend. The Rangers right now 1 game behind the Mariners for the final wild card spot. This has been the Sports Blitz coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. Enjoy your Friday, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Stay safe. For Bone Crusher, I'm James Fife. Keep your stick on the ice.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Does anybody know what's really wrong with him? I can't say what I want to say. It would involve cussing here. It's about money. You want the bag. They're offering you more money. At least be honest. Come out and just be honest. You don't give a crap about that. You just want the Benjamin.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday afternoon. The remainder of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and 90 with a moderate breeze out of the southwest around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning and then likely thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Hartz Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable buildings. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port